Hey guys, I am Andy, and today we have a special guest with us. Pastor Josh Irmler from Ambassador Baptist Church of Fresno is going to be joining us.
Hey guys.
It is Whiteboard Wednesday, where we break down information that helps your church. If you could do us a huge favor, please like and share this video so we can continue putting out content like this every single Wednesday for you guys. So today, Pastor Josh is with us to kind of let us in on his onboarding process and the steps he takes to convert his guests to regular attenders. So first and foremost, what is your church's definition of a regular attender? I know it's a very kind of broad definition. Yeah. It could change with church from church to church. So what do you guys kind of define a regular attender as?
Well, one of the things that we try to focus on is ask ourselves the question, at what point does a person more likely to stay than to drop off the kind of map or something? So for us, we have found that once a person hits 6 times, that they are most likely to stick around for the long haul. So I know there are some books you can read and you'll be reading through them and they'll say, we have like 90% of our folks return. Mm-hmm. And then as you kind of dive into it, you find out that their definition of regular attender is like 2 times, Easter and Christmas. So this is really important that you have kind of a systematic definition of what a regular attender is for you. And I would really encourage you to make that number whatever is the number where they're more likely or most likely to continue returning, if that even makes sense.
Perfect. No, that sounds great. So what are some kind of numbers that you guys have found using this onboarding process? I know you guys have some data behind this. So
yeah. Well, when in the metrics that we use over the last 12 months, we've been able to hit about 25% of the folks who have come one time to our church have become regular attenders. So for us, that means 6 times. And then this summer, it's been awesome. We've had a good summer here, and we've been able to see that number jump to 37% based on the process that we're going to share with you here in a minute.
Wow, that's great, because I know during summer, I know a lot of churches can kind of, a lot of families taking trips and different things like that. So that's great. That's awesome. So let's get to it. What's the first step of your guys' process here?
Well, obviously it's pretty basic, but in order to get somebody to come back, usually it's a good idea to get their contact information. And so this is kind of the big important task, and there's a lot of things that goes into this. One of the things is you want to make sure you get them a connection card. And so we use a couple of different things. We use a guest booklet, and we use kind of a gift to incentivize people to come back and whatever we can do there. We're also giving people a connection card in the bulletins as well. So we actually give people 2 different resources, 2 different ways to give us their contact information. And so that's kind of the big thing for us. The second thing I would say is make your connection card very simple. Sometimes you'll go to a church and literally the connection card asks all kinds of questions, and it's a huge survey. We have found at Ambassador that the simpler that those cards are, the better it is that you'll get those to return. And so the third thing I would say there is ask several times throughout your service for those folks who are guests to turn those cards in. So we have several checkpoints as a guest is moving through our environments where they're being asked, to turn in a card. So everywhere from the coffee shop, they're asking, the folks there, if they're a guest, to, turn in their connection card. We also ask at the beginning of the service as we're doing our scripture reading, we kind of talk about our service program, and also we'll say something like, hey, in your service program, if you're a guest, there's a connection card in there. At the end of our service, during our offering time, we ask for the connection card again, and we also do that through our Up Next videos that are playing before and after the service. And so I guess the big key is just ask again and again and again and again to get those cards in, because if you don't get the cards, your likelihood of being able to do the rest of this highly diminishes.
That sounds great, and I know you kind of said some incentives such as gifts. What in your experience with your church? What have you found the most successful as far as like gifts? I know people aren't just all about the gifts, but what have you found the most successful?
Personally, I love to read, and I'm a big book reader, and so early on we'd like give people books, and we found out that people don't really like books, so we kind of stopped doing that after a while, and just kind of played into a little bit of what people like. So I think right now we do some type of tumbler. I think you even got one here, and we put some candy in it, and then we'll throw in a couple other items just depending on what the season is. But oftentimes when we'll go back to visit, we'll find that those are sitting there, on their kitchen table or something like that. So it's something that
who doesn't like candy?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, what's step 2 here?
Okay, number 2, I think it's important important to start the connection process. And so one of our desires is that these individuals would get touched on a regular basis throughout the week. And so you're going to have to figure out for your ministry what you're comfortable with and how many touches you want to make. And so what we've tried to do is look at several ways to make some touches without seeming too overbearing. And so the first thing we do the first day is we will send them an email either Sunday night or early Monday morning. And in that email, we'll give them some content, and we also have a survey. In that survey, we might ask them questions about what did you notice first and what did you like about the service, just to help us get a little feedback on what our visitors are noticing, because after a while, you can begin to stop seeing what a guest is seeing. So we'll send them an email, and really the big thing with those emails or any content that you put out, it's really important to ask those individuals to come back to your church. It's amazing how many times I'll read, follow-up letters from different churches or things like that, and they'll have all kinds of information about all their ministries and programs and events coming up, and there's no place where they just ask the visitor, hey, would you come back? We
back.
liked you, we want you to come back to our church. So I think that's probably, if you don't get anything else, I think that's important to mention.
That's perfect, because we last week we talked about branding. So filling out this survey for these visitors, I mean, it's good because whether you know it or not, I mean, they have the thought of what your church is like or what they how they vision your church. So this is kind of perfect. This goes perfect with last week's video. So step 3, what is the next step after that?
Well, Monday, we're hoping they get in their inbox an email with the survey, and we're asking them to come back. Day 2, we try to follow up with a personal phone call, and we have a volunteer that comes in every Tuesday, gets the connection cards, and we just call them up. And we're not trying to be overbearing or anything, but basically what we're trying to find out is if they have any questions, we can answer them, and we also ask if they have any prayer requests. And oftentimes the volunteer right over the phone will pray with our guests, and it just builds another touch with individuals. And so you want to make sure you have the right person in that role, but just another way to personally connect with your first-time guests.
And when you say right person, I'm assuming you mean someone friendly,
yes.
someone kind of cheerful and different things like that. I know
exactly.
you can kind of get someone on the phone who doesn't really like talking to people, and you can totally tell right from the get-go. So perfect. So step 4.
All right. So we got Monday, email. We got Tuesday, we're giving them a phone call. By Wednesday, we hope to have a letter in their mailbox. And so we obviously have to send that out earlier in order for it to get there by Wednesday. But the real key to this is reiterating some of the information we gave them in the email. Once again, asking them to come back, letting them know that we really enjoyed having them, seeing if they have any questions, giving them our contact information so they can be communicating with us. And I think the key with this letter is kind of less is more. Sometimes you'll be tempted to just to put every ministry you have coming up and every event and all the programs. And honestly, you really want to give them one next step. And so ask them to come back, and if you want to push them toward a small groups ministry, then maybe do that. If you want to push them toward a starting point members class, do that. I think the key is just to pick one that works for your ministry philosophy and really drive them toward that one thing, or else you'll just overwhelm them. So then the other thing we do is we put a gift in there. Just we've done different things from Starbucks cards to even gas cards. Sometimes when gas gets really expensive, we'll throw a gas card in there, say, hey, thank you so much for using your fuel to make it out to church. And so we'll throw some type of gift in there as well. So that's Wednesday.
Oh, that's great. I really like what you said about you not overloading them with events. We have a fall, we have this, we have this coming up, and I know it can kind of get overwhelming. You're like, oh man, like all these events. So just kind of sticking them to one thing, kind of their small group or their starting point, or that's perfect. So we have these steps. So what is the last step here in your guys' process?
What we try to do, and obviously this is, if we get permission for it, is we like to make a personal visit. Now, this is probably the most controversial of everything that we have on our processes. I've been to certain communities, and this is a big no-no. And so you've got to really know your community. You have to know your demographic. But we'll have a place where we'll ask people if they would like a personal visit. And if they check that they do, or if we call and they say they're open to it, then within about a week, we try to get to their home. And really, our goal in getting to their home is very straightforward. We just, once again, want to tell them, thank you so much for coming out and visiting with us. We really enjoyed having them, and just recommunicating that to get to them again. Number 2, we ask them, hey, do you have any questions? And we're here to answer any questions you might have about the ministry, or about children's ministry or youth ministry. And then thirdly, we once again just want to say, is there anything we can pray with you about? about, and just add that spiritual element there. We also try to take them a gift, and we've done all kinds of different things over the years, and to some degree, we've had times where, maybe we didn't hit it quite right with that. I remember on one occasion when we first started, we used to give out these what looked like little Valentine's baskets, and it would have a candle in it, and have some, heart-shaped little chocolates. And I remember one time we had a single staff member who took this to another single guy, and it was just the most awkward thing in the world. Thankfully, that guy still comes to our church, and he got a good laugh out of it. It was fun. So, you've kind of learned over time. But right now, we keep it as simple as just some popcorn, and we do some of the Popcornopolis right now is what we're currently doing. But I know of guys who will take a pie from Marie Callender's or some other bakery in town, and just kind of whatever works for the demographic and kind of the overall culture of your community, I think is important to get to there.
And I know with work schedules, kind of finding somebody at home can be a little difficult. Is there a time that you guys have found is the best time to go? Is it on the weekend? Is it on in the afternoon? Or
honestly, one of the best times we have found is late Sunday afternoon, and it just seems like people are wrapping up their weekends around that time. So this can even be done as a week later or 2 weeks later. I know some people really like to do it very quickly. I know at times there have been folks who would take this step and actually do this step first and do it the afternoon of the day they came. This is all just to really, you got to kind of feel that out, for the people themselves as well as for your community. So, basically whenever people are home in your community is probably the best time to go.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for kind of joining us, Pastor Josh, and kind of letting us in on your onboarding process. I know for Pastor Josh, this process can be fine-tuned. I know, and we'd love to continue the conversation down below. If you guys have found something successful for you guys, let us know. We want to share this information to everyone. And if you can do us a favor, please like and share this video for us so we can just continue doing videos like this and reaching more people. This was Whiteboard Wednesday. Thank you again, Pastor Josh. We really appreciate it. We hope this information was helpful to you guys. I'm Andy. Pastor Josh, signing off. See you guys.